it says 44. That's a lot of candles. It can't possibly be how old I am. And then it says hashtag stroke things. Which is sort of an inside joke, not anymore.
You have to, Misha specifically, you have to open your presents really quickly. So make quick work of it, but it's a thing.
Grab your cameras.
Here we go. So, I don't know what the milk's for, I was told to bring it out.
It does your body good, it makes you grow.
Open, damn you. What is that? What have you gotten? It's a set of teeth.
It's all teeth.
Oh yeah, that's, you know what?
They're animated chattering teeth.
Because you're old and dying. Those will come in handy this weekend. Take that. This is,
Okay, so there's a theme, right?
Yeah.
It says, always be prepared for your own stroke. Your own stroke kit. This is a stroke kit.
You got to have a stroke kit. It's so important because Ron had a stroke. His health matters to all of us.
You just can't be too careful. So I got you a...
Chattering teeth, and here's your stroke kit. You have Vaseline.
You never know when you're going to need to get out of tight situations. Or into a tight.
Good thing your family's here. Good thing your family's here. Keep opening. This is from, yes, you got Kleenex to go with the Vaseline. This is from Mark Shepard.
It's a Loud and Swain CD. And it's signed by Mark Shepard.
And it's signed to Richard Benedict.
It says to my friend Richard Benedict, and it's crossed out Rob.
Oh, socks. That must be part of the kit.
Oh yeah, that's from my house.
Oh, just random socks from your
Yeah, it's just the extra ones you had left over in the laundry that week. It's nice.
Good Lord.
It's a good use of extra socks. Gift them.
This is also from home. This was interesting. It's just vegetable bouillon, but as I was taking it out of the pantry, Vicky was like, no, you can't take that. So there's only 1 cube in there.
Use it wisely, I guess.
These are for later. I'll just tell you what it is. It's a pasta.
There you go. This is from Matt Cohen.
Oh my Lord!
Yep. Matt did that for you.
Happy birthday, Robbie, XO, Big Daddy Winchester.
Just hold it up, they'll find you.
Where's the camera?
Just hold it up, they'll find you.
That's true love, what that is.
That's gonna go great with the rest of the stroke kit.
That was
This is from
one
the
shade
band.
too
This is
many.
from the band. This is from the band.
That's actually something you can use.
The result. Special Texas Longhorn version.
This whole weekend has been a beer commercial.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rob. Happy birthday to you.
Honestly, this wouldn't have been funny if I had died. If I had died, this wouldn't have gone over as well, I'm just saying.
It wouldn't have hit as hard.
Right. No, it would have been funny.
There would have been some comedic value to it.
No, there would have been some comedy.
Right.
I think it's probably time for me to say officially, ladies and gentlemen, Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackman. What the hell was the milk for? Did we ever get to the bottom of that? Never mind.
I don't know that we got to
I don't want to know.
portion
Never
of the
mind.
evening, but you know.
Thank you so much, you guys.
We'll keep that right down here for you, big guy.
Thank you, everybody. That was, honestly, I just want to say really quickly that I was kind of bummed at first I couldn't be home. This is like one of the better birthdays I've ever had.
All right, now get off the stage.
Hi, guys.
Hi back there. Yeah.
Okay, who's?
Yeah, I can't understand a word you're saying.
I think it's a love.
What's that?
Strippy?
Oh, pudding.
All right, well.
Easy, man, Colin.
Who's first convention? Welcome to our crazy family as you and be prepared for the same thing to happen to you and you and you and you and you.
This is true. It's all very true.
Welcome, guys.
Hi, band. Hi, guys.
And band.
Looking studly as always.
As always.
I see you. I see you brought the Texas theme today. Very nice. Very nice.
Love it.
Appreciate that. It's good.
Well, we've had some happy birthdays. We've had some present opening. Let's go ahead and get to the audience. Now that we're home in Texas, let's go ahead and go Cowboys. If you're recording the game, I don't want to ruin it, but go Cowboys.
Now, I saw earlier there was a Redskins shirt, but I also saw a Philadelphia Eagles shirt. Do you know the outcome of that game yet?
Loud noises.
We're good. Do we know the outcome of that yet? She's checking it. 2 minutes left, still tied.
Cowboys won.
Eagles are up?
Philly's up by 3.
Okay, alright, enough about that. Alright, Jared?
Let's go ahead and start over here. It's, I see a walking mic.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
I'm sorry, I don't have much of a voice. I was singing way too loud at karaoke.
As well you should have done. That's what it's for.
My question, unfortunately, Jared, is for Jensen.
I'm gonna start wearing hats just so I can get that reaction when I take them off. Yeah? You don't get to see these luscious locks anymore. You're ruined it. What?
Okay.
You and me. Okay.
Down in front.
What's your question?
My
What's it like working with Jared? No, what's your question?
serious question. Because of your faith, I was just wondering, when you read the script for season 9, did you have any, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. First time on here. Because of your faith, with the Martin Luther King storyline and what he said about Abel, did it affect the way you played Dean or any,
I think I understand the question. I got you. And to answer it kind of simply, you know, this from the very beginning is a fictional story that is inspired by some historical facts, and others are of the creative mind of our wonderful writers. So that's what it is to Jared and I. We're telling a fictional story about fictional characters, and we try to make them as real and as tangible and as in-depth and as layered as we possibly can. So if ever there's a question of something for me in the script that maybe it's a subject that I don't necessarily believe in, or there's a subject that we said very early on that we don't want to be a political or religious mouthpiece for our writers, and they have been very respectful of that. And in doing so, they've created a beautiful world in which we can play Sam and Dean in.
Yeah.
By beautiful, it comes with all the ugly too, which is, you know, Crowley. So no, to answer your question, I get to play Dean because I think he's a hell of a character and a really, really unique story, and we take solace in that. We really enjoy being in this world and playing these characters and bringing them to life. So,
Hi.
hi.
I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. My question is for Jared.
Yeah.
My question is, have you ever come across anyone that can't say your last name right no matter how hard they try? Because I have a Polish last name too, and no one can say it right.
What is it?
Blazak. Do you want me to spell it for you?
Whoa!
Yes, stupid. Do you want her to spell it for you? I'm glad you didn't ask me that question, because I would have been like, no, I know how to spell it.
Is there a C and a Z next to each other?
There are 2 Z's and 1 C.
Is it B-L-A-C-Z-Z-A-C?
It's B-L-A-S-Z-C-Z-A-K.
Duh!
I think you win this round. I think you win this round, because I clearly could not spell it correctly, but yes, I do run after people. In fact,
We both. Our last names both get butchered horribly. His probably more than mine, but yeah, no, it's...
probably. I have your last name within my last name. So, and then the rest of it kind of goes on. You know, it was actually, what's funny is that my last name specifically, it's a way that I helped to kind of come to terms with my place in this business, and that when I before I got Gilmore Girls, before I got... You like how I name drop myself? Before I started working, you need to register, when you qualify for SAG, you need to register for SAG, you need to register your name. And I remember my ex-manager, ex being the operative term, he's actually a great guy, so I don't want to dog him, because he's actually a really nice man, a really great guy. But he wanted me to use a fake last name. He thought pathology would be too difficult for people to know. Yeah, but boo, and indeed, I agree. But he was just thinking as a business standpoint, like Jared, all right, next. And I remember having kind of a come to terms with myself when I was 17 years old, going like, you know what? If I'm not good enough to make it beyond a difficult to pronounce last name, then I don't belong in this business anyway. So I'll just be who I am and be my father. And I will Blazak all over Hollywood. It's right there. I bet. Thank you.
If you can spell it.
Do you need me to spell it for you, Jesse? Thank you.
My question was yesterday at another panel we were talking about crossovers with like other shows.
What other panel?
Yeah. But how was it working with the episode Blade Runners with Snooki? Being a crossroad demon.
You know what? I'll start this. So, I have had a few opportunities to work with, and actually we worked with another one on the same show, with people who have been in reality shows. The business surprises you every now and again. You meet people that you really think like, oh, I'm gonna respect this person. I met Harrison Ford, he was an asshole.
How
an Idol, on Solo, Indiana Jones. I was like 18 years old. I was at the Golden Globes, maybe 19 or 20 years old, at the Golden Globes, and I just wanted to shake his hand, and he goes, nope, and walked away. I think it's the first time I've ever told that story in public. Yeah, he's still Harrison Ford, so. However, you meet people like Nicole, or like Paris Hilton, and you go like, oh, I see. The business and publicity and media does to you some things that you can't help it. She was kind, she was sweet, she showed up with her mother, and that's it, and she was easy, and I mean...
I think that's been established.
All I can say is this. All I can say, and for those of you over the age of 30 in this room, if the stuff I did between ages 18 and 25 was put on camera for the world to see,
You'd be in Portland.
I wouldn't be making this list. She was a sweetheart. She was a doll. She was a professional. She came to work, and I worked with her again. Happily. Thank you. What's your last name?
That's not pleasant.
You want me to spell it for you? Sorry.
I've actually misspelled it myself. You got the Z, the C, the other Z.
Is it a silent ZC or is it just a?
It's like play Zach. So I don't know.
Oh, well, when you say it like that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Blazak, but it's Blazak. That clears it up. All right.
I don't know what's silent, what's not. But so my question is actually for Jensen.
It's fine, it's fine.
What was your experience, like how was your experience working on Smallville? And
The second part of the question was?
how was it having Jane Seymour play your mom?
Oh, yes, yeah. Never a bad thing when a Bond girl gets to play your mother. Smallville was good. It was a great experience. I was actually supposed to do another season of it. I only ended up doing one because this other show came along and they needed me for it. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was for me. It's stupid.
I was trying to get you some applause, man.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I appreciate that. You over there going? All right, cut it out. I had a great experience. I made some friends on that show that I still have to this day, and the really cool part was that now because that show is gone, a few of the crew members that I worked with on Smallville have now joined the crew with Supernatural. So I've got, long history with a lot of these crew guys. They go past, they go further than back to Supernatural. Yeah, so it was very good. The show was a little bit different, obviously, than Supernatural is. Because it took place in high school. And the funny thing was that I was the coach of Tom Welling, and he was older than I am in real life. It was kind of odd, but whatever. We had a good time, and Michael Rosenbaum I still talk to, and it's always nice when I get to see Kristen, and yeah. So it was a really good experience on the show. I have nothing bad to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there somebody inside the spotlight?
Yes.
Hi.
Okay. First off, Jared, I want to thank you earlier for talking about dressage in the gold panel because I'm a parent dressage rider and I love that. But my question is for Jensen.
This is good. It's in my hometown. What do you expect?
I was wondering if Dean gets a hellhound.
If what?
Demon Dean gets a hellhound.
If Demon Dean gets a hellhound? That's a good question. I don't think Demon Dean needs a pet. I think it's... Yeah. Crowley's got a pet, and Crowley's Demon Dean's pet, so there's kind of a juxtaposition there. No, Demon Dean does not get a... I think that if it lasted a little longer than it did, the whole Demon Dean thing, then I don't know, maybe they would start playing with the idea of bringing in hellhounds, but...
Wait, what?
What? Hey, look, we're already at episode 9, so maybe it just stopped. Or maybe I've read to 13 and then it stopped. Or maybe it stopped after episode 1. I don't know. Spoiler alert. Not gonna lie. No hellhound to Demon Dean. I should have just said that. Hi.
Hi.
Jensen, look away. Hey, look back, Jensen. It's weirding me out.
So, obviously we love you. It's been lucky to come see you, and I was wondering if y'all geek out over anything as much as you geek out over
I geek out over moments like this, for sure. And my wife, who's backstage, will attest. So I hear somebody saying, "Come on, Jen." That's what you get for eating salad. I did see a few rubies today. Where are they? Are the rubies still ruby? Yeah. There's one, yes. Yeah, I saw it earlier. I was like, yeah, my wife and y'all should trade clothes. So Jen will attest that the first time we went backstage to a Pearl Jam concert. I love you, baby. We went backstage to a Pearl Jam concert, and we were holding hands, and all of a sudden she's like, "Baby, baby," and like trying to get out of my hand. And I was like, "What? What?" She goes, "You're squeezing my hand." And I'm like, "Sorry, it's Mike McCready. He's right there."
Let's get the real story.
He was panicking so much that Daniil actually turned to me and said, "He's gonna get us kicked out."
That was my wife who was like, "He's got to stop."
I hate to see her go, but I love to watch her leave. Oh, he's gonna pay for that one.
I know Jen, he's gonna pay for that one.
Am I bleeding? So
yeah, he definitely geeked out at a Pearl Jam concert. That was funny. I looked over and he was just like white, ghost white, and just like vibrating. I'm like, you need to lock it up. You gotta pull yourself together, man.
But I grew up with them. It was like 10 years. You know what I mean? 10 years.
That wasn't so much the opposite reaction, but I'm trying to think of the last time I saw somebody that I was like, but I just, if I see, okay, like recently I saw, no, that wasn't recently. Anyway.
Tell it again.
Thanks. Do the one about the. I just turned to walk away. I was like, oh. And it's like not the cool walk either, where you know. I can't. I don't know. That's. Yeah. You're doing a lot better than I would. So yeah, she's just taking a knee now.
Thanks. All right.
So when I was lucky enough to come to Chicago and bring my Impala to get used on the Bloodlines episode, I noticed that you guys chew a lot of gum on set. I actually found a present inside my Impala.
Let me see that.
It's probably yours.
Okay, I do want to point out the fact that they are wrapped up,
Yes.
but it was.
It's torn off of the sides.
No, was it put in the sides? In the sides. But in.
It was in the driver's seat.
Folded up in this, right?
It was in the driver's seat. She said it.
But folded up in the sides, which I will say these are my sides because this is how I fold them. My bad.
What's funny is that we have so we call her Prop and Robin or Robin, or just Robin, but she does our props on set, and she holds our sides in between or while we're shooting. We'll flip through our sides, run lines, and go like, okay, and hand them to her. And so you do fold things like that. We both fold ours very differently, very specifically. So she can just, without even looking, grab two pairs of sides in her hand and go like, okay, these are Jensen's, these are yours, because of the way we fold them. So those are totally Ackles. You are guilty as charged. Which means, for my Sherlock Holmes moment, that is Jensen's ABC gum.
Yep.
But now, wait a second. There are two pieces of gum there.
In two separate pieces of paper, actually.
And two separate pieces of paper. Where are you going now, Jerry?
One's more green, one's more blue.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I actually do have a question.
Okay, so what's the question? Is it about gum?
You can clone us. You can actually clone us from that.
Okay, so what's the question?
Okay, so that got me thinking that the two of you probably have some funny, gross habits. I want you each to tattle on the other one.
Yeah, but that stopped a while ago with all the protein.
And we're both guys sitting in a car by each other. I mean, it's gonna happen. Sorry, that's not a habit. That's just nature.
Sulfur for breakfast.
What's that?
Sulfur for breakfast.
Sulfur for breakfast. That's right.
My sister texted me out of the blue one day. She's like, "Sulfur for breakfast." Made me laugh out loud. All right, love you. Talk to you later. Thanks, man. Gross habits. Well. Oh, yeah, that's me.
Do we want to say that? I'm surprised. You know those little single-serving floss sticks? I find those everywhere because Stretch over here is always flossing, but he does this self-diagnosis where he goes like this. And every now and again you get one of like, Jensen, smell this.
That's probably both all in one. I floss and smell it, and I also floss and try and get other people to smell it. Every now and again he'll smell it, and that's pretty gross. That's a lot.
Every now and then you made such a curious face, I'm like, all right, I need to smell it. I'm like, that piece of barbecue's been in there for a week.
I haven't had barbecue in like 2 weeks. Even better. He hides his better. He hides it.
I hide my bad habits better.
He hides it better, so I'll have to give it some thought, but if it hits me, I'll speak it. Thank you.
Hi, my question is for Jared. It was, hi, Jared. And we completely understood her.
Every word.
She said her mom was her teacher at like elementary or not like
High school.
Yeah, and but my question actually is.
Oh God! Oh, you got my hopes up. I screwed my chair forward. I screwed my chair backwards.
Hi.
Okay. So far in season 10, how is it being Demon Dean? Like, have you like enjoyed it more than just Demon?
I will say that I have had yes, it's been more enjoyment from season 10 than there was the majority of season 9 because of the weight of the storyline that Dean was in for season 9. It was pretty heavy and dramatic, and there's a lot of self-loathing and whatnot. But yes, season 10 has been a lot more enjoyable for me. So I hope it is the same to you guys.
My grandma has a question for you guys. She wants to know, on a supernatural world, who actually does the laundry? Does you guys have clean, fresh suits and all that? And your clothes are usually clean. She's like, she's trying to guess which one does the actual laundry.
You know, it's actually funny. I pitched one time. I didn't pitch it. I just kind of suggested it in passing. I'm like, shouldn't there be a scene of the guys playing some card game in a laundromat, sitting there in their boxers? And the only reason I say that is because I've done that when I was
on the way here today.
On the way here. No, I was like backpacking Europe when I'm in my early 20s, and me and my buddy were going from city to city to city. We'd just pull into a laundromat, unpack our backpacks, get down to as little as we could, sit in a laundromat, wait for our laundry to dry, and just play cards. And I'm like, this is the kind of thing that, you know, but it doesn't really move the story along, so we're probably not going to see that.
You're like,
what's that?
Story.
Yeah, who cares about the story? It's going to be like, now there's going to be letters written to Warner Brothers about a laundromat that they've never heard of. But I don't know, if I was willing to bet, I would say that it would be a collaborative effort. I would maybe Dean does the ironing.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than her guess. Her guess was that Sam would be bullied into doing all of it.
I'm okay with that.
That was her guess.
I think Sam, trying to go to law school and do that, probably knows how to put on a suit and tie. But I think both these guys are grifters, right? Both of them have to know how to play the game, so I think they both do their own laundry. I don't think they want to see each other's dirts.
Now look, there are ways and that I have almost perfected, traveling as much as I do, of rolling your clothing to where there's no wrinkles.
Yep.
Like this shirt was packed into a bag that was this big to come here this weekend, but I just rolled it around my jeans.
He didn't finish.
Boom! No creases.
Let's clarify something. Let's finish these dimensions. How big was it?
You're right, it was a trunk. I came here for 2 days with a trunk. The rest of it's on its way. We'll ship it here.
There will be changes soon.
So I assume that Sam and Dean have also become very clever in how to pack appropriately.
Very streamlined.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I was curious about.
There you go.
I know you're on Twitter now, and you got nominated for the Ice Bucket Challenge a couple dozen times, and I'm still waiting for that video.
Well, now, as I understood it, it was donate or dump a bucket of ice on your head. Am I right? So I donated. Yes, there are about a dozen challenges that I was supposed to respond to, but I had 24 hours and I missed the deadline, so I just donated instead. Is there like an extension that I didn't know about? It's a little late in the game at this point, isn't it? It's like, oh, let me do the Harlem Shake while I'm at it too. I'm a little tardy to the party.
Will you send me will you do a Macarena video?
Thanks, I wasn't sure what Macarena was, but now I know. Yeah, I just kind of wrote it off as, well, I missed the deadline, so let me donate, and that was kind of... And now I feel if I do it, it's just sad. It's like, oh, look who decided to show up. 3 months later. What? That's a whole different challenge. Yeah, peer pressure. Yeah, I wasn't up on the peer pressure thing growing up, and I end up on it now. So I donated, and you know, maybe I'll be ahead of the curve for the next ice challenge of some sort. Or maybe I'll just surprise you. Come wintertime, I'll just jump in a lake. And be like, Ice Bucket Challenge, remember? No? Stupid. Knew I shouldn't have listened to that girl in Dallas. Thank you.
Hey, bud.
Hi.
Favorite monster, favorite way to kill it.
Favorite monster?
Favorite way to kill it.
Oh, favorite monster every weekend?
Favorite way to kill.
Favorite monster, favorite way to kill it.
My favorite monster was just up on stage with me. Favorite way to kill her is to marry her and give her kids.
He's like, yeah, that wasn't what I was looking for. Screw you guys. I don't favorite monster. Oh man. Dude, my least favorite. I don't know. Leviathan is like take a back seat. Yeah, many, but he was kind of he was more of a friend than a foe.
But you're still a monster. Are you listening to yourself?
Well,
we hunt monsters.
in that case, I'm a little offended that you didn't choose me as Demon Dean as your favorite monster.
You ain't hot. Yes, you are.
Now I am. You know what? My favorite way to kill was the Colt. I guess favorite thing to kill or favorite monster. I don't know. That's really tough. We've had a lot of really good ones. The vamps have been really good. The werewolves have been really good. I always go back. In fact, I was just talking to Bob about this week. So one of his favorite episodes, Bob Singer, our executive producer, one of his favorite episodes of the show that he directed was Monster Movie. And the Dracula was one of my favorites.
I do actually, that was my favorite monster, truthfully, other than just the fact that she's my wife. I just like storylines, but my favorite way to kill is actually the hand.
Yes.
So,
that is so not true. You had to put the sponge thing in your nose. You hated that.
But that wasn't, no, I didn't want to bleed out the sponge nose, but I did like thinking of that. It was nice, the Luke Skywalker hand. I had the Force.
This is hurting me right now. People always wonder, like, man, you're so big, how do you get in the Impala? Because he's Gumby, that's why. What's that?
Thanks, man. Yep.
If I did yoga? Yeah, no thanks. I have no use for putting my head underneath my knee. That's...
You don't?
Nope. Because that's what'll happen.
Hi, on that note.
On that... Is that C flat? Hi.
My question's for both of you.
You can turn that mic off.
Feedback. I was wondering, at what point in their lives are you going to introduce your kids to Supernatural, and how are you going to go about doing that?
Well, obviously they've been introduced already. They've spent time on the set. They've met all the characters. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
My niece just turned 6, and apparently she came home from school and said to her mom, my sister-in-law, Veronique, she said, "Mom," and she's like, "Yeah, Juliet." "Mom, is Uncle Jared on everybody's TV?" Because she always knew I was on TV. You know, they'll flip through and they'll show Uncle Jared doing crazy things and quickly from away. But I guess when they called Padalecki Juliet out in class, the lady was like, "Are you related to Jared Padalecki?" And Juliet goes, "You mean Uncle Jared?" And they were like, "Yeah, oh my gosh, I watch his TV show." So she came home to ask if I was on everybody's TV. So that's at 6. I don't know when I'm going to defer to the boss and ask when she thinks we should introduce him.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Whenever our wives say it's okay.
As soon as they can understand and comprehend the difference between what they see me do in real life and what they see me do on home videos and what they see me do as pretend. Because I know my brother is 3 years older than I am, and I know when I had the death scene in House of Wax in front of Phoenix, he had to like physically walk out of the movie room, out of that movie theater. So he's a grown man, you know. So to think my kid might have to watch me get beat up or killed or reborn or killed or reborn or killed, I'd want them to know that I was just playing pretend. So as soon as they can really comprehend that it's pretend, and it's what Daddy does. And people pay him for it. It's crazy.
I just had a vision of like Tom on the recess playground picking up a stick and thinking it's a demon knife and then like stabbing a kid going, "I'm just pretending. No, I'm just pretending." No, guys.
Not my real cheese.
But Daddy does it, he pretends. I was pretending. Not pretending, Tom, not pretending.
Hi.
How's it going?
Awesome. Excellent. Were y'all, have y'all ever gotten freaked out when people dress like y'all? And are y'all still kind of get like a weird, like freak out?
No, man, it's totally cool. It's really flattering.
It's okay. No, because y'all are dressing like Sam and Dean. We dress like Sam and Dean also.
What's that?
If I would wear the black hat with the white shirt, would that
I think you look damn good.
Oh, yeah, if you dress like Jared and not like Sam, then that might, there would be more, like a double take there. But yeah, no, it's cool, man. We dig it.
Yeah, if I... French fries. This will come as a shock to nobody. I didn't invent the V-neck shirt or the button-down long sleeve shirt. What? But I made it work. If somebody else digs them, and if somebody else digs them because they saw me wear them one time and they put it on, badass. Sweet.
And hey, man, if somebody else wants to wear 3 layers when it's 90 degrees outside, I can sympathize. So kudos, brother.
And if somebody else just needs to keep all these damn luscious locks chained up, then far be it from me to tell them to do otherwise. Thanks, brother. You're good. Hi.
Hi.
Are you dressing like me?
I am.
Just awesome. Yes, I am.
Like, what's happening with the musical episode?
It's already done happened. We have finished filming it. It's an awesome tribute to the show and to you guys. I'm in Texas, I can say y'all. To y'all. I'm back in the South, y'all understand that. It was a nice way to, as you'll see, I think everybody will be very pleasantly surprised, but happy. It's a nice way to stay true to who Sam and Dean are, and also kind of do a very unique episode that will always stand out. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a tip of the hat to the fans and the people that have kept us going for this many years. And but I believe, and he agrees with me, that it's done in a way that's still within the vein of the show. And I think as long as we can keep the characters still in the world that we have created for them, then we're still safe. Even though we bend those rules as far as you can. And this is most certainly bending those rules. But they've found a very clever way to do it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Since the Impala is pretty much a part of the Winchester family, I wanted to know what each of your first cars were, and if you had any stories about the second car.
My first car, my first car I ever bought was a car I bought from my mother. That was her car growing up. I still own it to this day. It's a '69 Camaro. And it was in high school. It was not in good shape. It needed a lot of love. Carbureted engine, spark plugs would go out. We had some in the dash. And the carburetor would flood. And just what everything could go wrong with it, but I kept onto it, and luckily I did, because now I'm fixing her back up so I can